How's it going, guys? It is Joey from Above the Stigma, and I wanted to talk today about some myths about men. Just kind of talk about some of the stigmas out there about men being men. So, they all say that real men don't cry. It's just facts, right? Real men just do not cry. Real men are not human beings. Real men are robots from out of this world, apparently. Real men are supposed to show their extreme machoism, if you will, at all times. Anything less than that is pure weakness. Any sense of having feelings, you already know that's not a man. Or at least that's what society has told us all. That's what society has kept telling us. As a as a boy, you fall down, they say, "Get up, dust yourself off, get up." You hurt your knee or you fall down, and you're just sitting there, and you're just like, "I'm gonna cry because this shit hurts." But the first thing you hear is, "Boys don't cry." Now, you grow up with this mindset that boys don't cry, and then one day on your 18th birthday, you have graduated from a boy to a man, and society says, "Get up, dust yourself off." Men don't cry. And then we look at people and we just say, "Okay, yeah, yes, it makes sense. Boys don't cry, men don't cry. It must be true. This is just life." Except for the 1 in 4 people out there that actually do suffer from any type of mental illness. Except for that guy to your left or that guy to your right. Because honestly, they really might not be as okay as they seem. Society has told them that they cannot cry, they cannot express what's going on with them, they can't do anything to help themselves. Because if they were to tell you that they weren't okay, that would just make you uncomfortable, and they don't want to inconvenience you. Now, that's where we need to start making these myths of men don't cry, men aren't capable of same emotions, men can experience the same mental illnesses as women, men can't develop disorders or anything, because they're men, and men don't cry. And then you have those men that grow up, and those men sometimes decide to take an oath, and they go into the military. Doesn't matter which branch, it's all the same. It's all the same in the sense of Dust yourself off. Get up. There is no time for you to have feelings, for you to be crying. Now, I was in the Air Force for 5 years, and I was told several times that I needed to man up, that I needed to just do my job. And, I don't think that that's okay now, because I definitely didn't think it was okay then. So these myths are really starting to drag people down, because after I was done with whatever the military thought was their big hoorah of how they were going to get me out of the military with an honorable discharge, because I was bipolar and I was no longer a necessity and I was more of a liability, and that I wasn't capable of having a gun at my house because I was mentally unstable, so I lost all qualifications. And that's what it all summed up as. Now, when you make a 23-year-old man who's just been struggling with bipolar, depression, anxiety, PTSD, and just has had a rough chance and a rough time with things, when you make him feel like a straight outsider for having feelings and emotions and telling him that real men don't cry. Well, statistically saying, bipolar really runs in females, so I don't think that can be it. Yeah, I heard that from the first 3 doctors, until this nice lady sat across from me. And I was in the middle of a depressive episode, manic depressive episode, and I'm just sitting across from her, and I have refused to talk to her, because at this point I am just over it. I can't stand the thought of talking to one more person, because society has just told us all that we can't cry. It's not okay to have emotions. Whatever happens in your life, you have to dust it off and get up. Well, there were just some things that mentally I had blocked off, because that's our defense mechanism. Mentally, we will block off events of our life that we do not want to remember. But then you get something like PTSD, and no matter what I do, there's always that flash of that moment. Now, PTSD can mean a lot of things, and it can happen from a lot of different situations, from natural disasters to deployments to freak accidents to just terrible people. And then a man feels that pain, and a man deals with an experience. And now he knows that, well, boys don't cry, men don't cry, soldiers don't cry, airmen don't cry, veterans definitely don't cry. we have learned, we have sat through every briefing that tells us that we don't cry. As much as there are briefings that started coming out towards the end where it was, hey, here's a helping hand, here's a helping hand. But as soon as you ask for help, their first response is to kick you out of the military. Because you're a liability. So these myths of just everything, we're going to start working. We're going to really start working to break this stigma on real men do cry. Real men do have emotions. Real men can experience the same mental illnesses as women. And real men should have a safe place to talk. So I think it's time for us to just feel okay. It's okay to not be okay. And it's okay. I love you guys and I appreciate you guys being a part of my journey, and I appreciate you experiencing, feeling, and just being able to relate, being able to feel comfortable enough to relate and being able to speak up on certain things. That's what I am excited for, and I love that you guys are here, and I love that you've made it to this point of the video, and I hope I really do hope that in this journey together, we are really going to be focusing on breaking that stigma. We're going to be waiting at stigma's door. We're just going to be pounding on the door. I don't care. This barrier you got right here between you and I, stop looking through the people. I do not want to see you looking through that people. That door is coming down. And that's the barrier that above the stigma, you, I, your friend that hasn't told you that anything was going on and hasn't been open about his relationship being hard, or your nephew that's just been busting his ass in high school but is mistreated for the fact that he has a boyfriend, but he's too ashamed to talk about it to any of his family because he would never be understood. This platform is a safe place for all of us. Doesn't matter your ethnicity, your background of where you've been. This is our safe haven. And yeah, thanks for listening, guys.